Alrighty, so we're going to lay out horizontal lines today, two horizontal lines, parallel, like railroad tracks, to the reference edge, best edge, or X. You can call that any of those three items. And we're going to lay out two vertical lines or perpendicular lines on the same paper. We're going to start with the bottom left corner being the best corner, the torn edge here, and torn edge on your right, torn edge on the top. Again, best corner in the bottom left corner. You're going to label your paper best edge, reference edge, put an X on your paper, write the word end, and also put an arrow here where the best corner is. Our measurements today are going to be 1.5 and 3 for both lines. And we'll label this one also 1.5 and 3. The two little marks right there represent inches. I'm going to set that right there and we'll get started on a new paper. Okay, new paper. And we're going to put the best edge here, or the best corner here, best edge at the bottom, best end over here on the left, torn edge at the top, torn edge on the right. Let's go ahead and label all those parts. Okay, so we're going to label best edge. We'll also label that same item reference edge, so there's two different ways you can refer to that. This is the best way, this is the second best way, and we're also going to put an X. Always put an X on your best edge. And I want you to put an arrow where your best corner is. And so if this is an edge, that must make this an edge. And then if these two are edges, these two must be ends. And go ahead and label both ends. And we're ready to get started. All right, I'm going to be using an ink pen today so you can see the lines better. I would like you to use a pencil, preferably a wood-bodied pencil. You're going to need a pencil then, a ruler with 16 spaces to the inch, and a triangle. Okay, those three tools are the tools you need for this exercise. We're going to start with the vertical lines, and the first vertical line measured from this end is 1.5 inches. So we're going to measure 1.5 inches. Make sure you're on the inch edge, not the metric edge. That'll confuse you. Okay, so here we go at 1.5 inches. So there's 0, 1, and 8 of 16 spaces. 8 is half of 16, so half an inch is here. Mark like that, please. Two separate lines from the ruler. Take your triangle. Put the edge perfectly on the bottom edge of the triangle. Edge of the paper should look like that, right there. Perfect, right on the edge of the paper and lined up with my mark right there. And we're ready to draw a line. Again, don't worry about the rounded corner, just avoid it. Just like that. Okay, that line is done. Now we're going to move over to 3 inches. 3 inches measured from this end again. Measured from the end. Notice I don't use the 0 on the ruler because they're usually messed up, so I start from any other whole number. So we're going to call this 0, 1, 2, 3. 3 inches. Mark like that, two separate lines from the ruler out in both directions. Take your triangle. Make sure the triangle is perfect along the bottom right here. Make sure it's lined up with your mark over here. Avoid the corner and draw your line. Okay, both vertical lines are done. This is 1.5 inches. And this is 3 inches. Now the parallel lines or horizontal lines, they are horizontal to the reference edge and they are also perfectly parallel to the reference edge like railroad tracks. You see I measured 3 times for each line. Measured once, twice, 3 times. Okay, the first measurement is 1.5 inches again. So starting from the reference edge, the best edge, let's measure 1.5 inches, 0, 1.5. That's one measurement. We're going to make 3 measurements of the same measurement. 0, 1.5. 0, 1.5. You notice I flipped my ruler around so I could get closer to the edge of the paper. Okay, we're going to take a straight edge. You can either use a straight edge on your triangle or you can use a straight edge on your ruler. And we're going to line all three of those points up perfectly. And we're going to draw a line. I'm going to flip my paper around because I'm right-handed. It's easier for me to do it this way. So I'm going to line up, I'm going to put my pin there, then use that as a pivot point, line all 3 points up. If they don't all 3 line up, re-measure. And there we go. That's a 1.5 inch line from my reference edge parallel to my reference edge, perfectly parallel like a railroad track. And I'm going to go ahead and label this 1.5 inches. Okay, the next one is 3 inches. Again, same process. From the reference edge, 3 inches. Measured 3 times. 0, 1, 2, 3. Line once and line twice from the ruler in both directions. Okay, and I'll do that again. 0, 1, 2, 3. Line out in one direction, line out in the other direction, makes a perfect point. And I'm going to flip my ruler around. One more measurement of 3 inches. 0, 1, 2, 3. Line starting at the ruler, line away that way, and line away to the right. Boom, perfect. Okay, and we're going to line up all 3 points again. Do they all line up? They look pretty close. I think I made my measurements correctly. I'm going to flip this around again since I'm right-handed. And I'm going to draw my line. And I'm going to go ahead and label that 3 inches. And that's the end of this practice session. Thank you very much. Let's take a look. We have 2 vertical lines and we have 2 horizontal lines that are parallel to the reference edge.